Rev up your engines!
Ranjit says, Scotty, what do you suggest about a 2023 Mercedes GS? I would suggest not buying one. Mercedes-Benzes are endless money pits as they age. That's just how they are. You're paying a lot of money for technology that isn't all that good. Understand one thing about Mercedes-Benz. Their cars are back to what they used to be. Snobmobiles that ultra-rich people drive. I would not buy one. I mean, if you got an endless supply of money, you want to drive around in one, go right ahead. It's your money, but I wouldn't waste my money on those things. They don't hold up over time. They're not built as well as they used to be. But if you have to buy a Mercedes, find out where it's made. If you look at a Mercedes and it's made in Deutschland, in Germany, by Germans, it's going to be better than the ones that are made in other countries. That's just a fact. Alan Schmidt says, I got a Ford F-150, 93,000 miles, never changed the transmission fluid. Flush or not flush? Never flush. I don't advise ever flushing because it can flush pieces of dirt in a transmission that works fine now may not work at all. I've seen so many ruined that way. The only time I would ever say do a flush is if you got a car that's a piece of crap. The tranny shakes, rattles, slips, doesn't even work. What the heck? Give it a try. It's garbage anyways. Maybe it'll work longer. Who knows? But you just want to change the fluid and the filter. That's it. Don't flush. Believe me, you'll regret it if you flush. Justin Hudson said, what do you think of a 2013 Toyota Prius C? Okay, those are probably the best hybrids that are made, right? But the only thing is, it's now 11 years old. How many miles does it have on it? The batteries only last so long, right? Let's say the electric motor went bad. Right? The generator. It costs over $7,000 to replace it on one of those things when they go bad. Now, on the other hand, I've had customers buy a car like that. Maybe they'll buy a used one. Maybe they'll pay $2,500 for it. And it'll last them a year or two or three. Hey, fine. They're making it out, right? But don't buy one and then you find out, geez, I got to put $8,000 into the car. No, I would not pay much money for one used. Why me says, what about the electric Mini? It's the same as what you said about the Fiat 500 electric car. Of course, Mini's owned by BMW. They got a lot of BMW parts, a lot of technology. I would assume it would be better made than the Fiat 500. The Germans make a lot better stuff than the Italians do, right? It still is an electric car. And English cars have always had histories of electric problems. But, I mean, if you got to get an electric car and you're looking at a small car like the Mini, let's say you live in a city, you're only doing city driving, not much mileage, not much distance, they can make sense to some extent. I had a customer in Rhode Island. He had the BMW i3, a little bitty thing, right? But he only lived in the city. In 10 years, he only put 25,000 miles on it. He didn't drive far, and he likes it. So, small distance driving, maybe it'd be okay. Just don't get in something like that and think you're going to travel all over the country. You're going to be in for a big surprise when you can't get a charge, when it breaks down in the middle of nowhere and people scratch their heads like, what the heck's that? I don't know how to work on that thing. Apex Alpha says, Scotty, my warning chime sounds 4 times every 8 seconds in my '04 Envoy. What's it warning me about? It's driving me nuts. Okay, well, look at it and see what lights are coming on. Let's say it runs fine, you got no problems. Here's the easiest thing on earth to do. Follow your ear to where the chime noise is. Usually it's a little noisemaker machine. It looks kind of like a relay, plastic box. Find where it is and unplug it. If you unplug it, a car starts and runs, everything's okay, leave it alone. But you want to check if there's anything wrong first, because a lot of warning chimes will come on warning you something's going wrong, right? So if you don't have the wherewithal, go to a mechanic like me. We plug in our scan tool. We can tell you in 5 minutes if there's anything serious wrong with the car. And if we say, don't worry about it, don't worry about it. If you don't like the noise, unplug the stupid chime. Boy Clan 96 says, what do you think about buying a late 90s Acura Integra as a first car? Okay, they were great cars back in the day. Late 90s. So you're talking about what? At least a 25-year-old car. Do you really want to buy a 25-year-old car as a first car? Everything is generally worn out. Hondas are great cars. Honda makes Acuras. They're the same company, just a different name, A instead of H. And it actually kind of looks like an H that somebody bent up. But I would not say buy an old car like that as your first car, especially if you're not a mechanic, because something's going to break all the time. I had a customer who did that in Houston. He regretted it. The AC kept breaking, seals were leaking, the transmission leaked, all the rubber parts were rotten, and you had to replace them. You might think newer than that. So-and-so says, is it wise to daily drive a 94 Land Cruiser diesel with only 110,000 kilometers? 10,000 kilometers a year. Okay, well, why not? It's a diesel. They can last a long time. You know, I even got customers that drive diesel Land Rovers every day. And even though they're English stuff, the diesels are much better. They're made for that. So the big trucks, some of those go well over 1 million miles before they got to tear the engines down. The Lord of Nothing says, 2000 Lincoln Town Car, 157,000 miles for $2.9 thousand. What's your opinion? If it runs, shifts, and goes okay, road tested, they can be really good cars. You know, it's a late enough model 2000 that an OBD scanner, so if you have one, bring the scanner, look and see if there's any trouble codes, or pay a mechanic like me to check it out. But those are solid Panther builds. They got solid frame. You know, they can last a really long time. Now, of course, it depends where you are. Fords are Rustomania cars, right? So if you live up north, check the frame. If it's rotten, don't buy it. If you're in Texas, New Mexico, California, whatever, it's probably not rotten at all. But go under anyways, hit the frame with a hammer. If it doesn't go crunch, crunch, and it's solid, then the frame's good. Have the engine and trannies checked out with the scanner. Could be a pretty good car. They can last a long time. Kansas Soul says, Scotty, I'm thinking about ditching my 2011 Camry LE for 2009 Lexus IS250 for a daily driver. What's your advice? Well, I would not advise doing it for one main reason. 2011 Camry LE, one of the best cars ever made, and you're thinking about getting rid of it to get a 2-year-older Lexus. As the saying goes, better the devil you know than a devil you don't, right? You know your car. You don't know that Lexus. You're buying a used car. You are always taking a gamble buying a used car. Give you a perfect example. I had a customer buying an IS250 at a Lexus dealer. He brought it to me a month later, started running bad. I pulled the spark plugs, covered with baked on carbon. It was an oil burning engine. Need another engine. $7-8 grand if you want to do it right. So you can't trust anybody selling a used vehicle. If your car's still running good, you'd be a fool to get rid of that Camry. You just would be. Lexuses are great cars, but you don't know how it was maintained. Maybe it was flooded out or something. You don't know. You know your car. You know the history of your car. Why get rid of it? Those things can run forever. Raw Sports Radio says, please, Scotty, what do you think of the 2024 L392 Rubicon and its price, 120 grand? Yeah, okay, it's got a 392 cubic inch engine, a big old V8 engine. But would you pay 120,000 bucks for a Jeep? I would not. I think that's just absurd, patently absurd. Why would anybody pay that kind of money? But if you've got that kind of money, you want a vehicle like that, go right ahead, because the V8 engines are still good engines, right? Those 392s are pretty good engines. They could probably last a long time, but there's no way in Hades I'd spend 120 grand for one. LT said I got an 08 G35. PO430 codes came on. It's the CAT, upstream oxygen sensor, the downstream sensors. Okay, well, this is why mechanics make big money. We have to analyze that crap and figure it out without just guessing, right? Now, if you brought it to me, I can analyze it with some really fancy computers I have that know how to test catalytic converters automatically. I hook up the machine, push some buttons, computer can tell me if they're bad or not, or if the sensors are bad. You probably need both new cats because they're crap on those Nissan products, even though they are technically Infinities. It's the same company, right? The cats go out on those things all the time, and they cost a fortune, and you're probably going to have to replace both of them. And if you use non-Nissan cats, it probably won't work, and the codes will still pop. It's going to cost you a fortune. This is why I tell people, do not buy Infinities. They're fun cars. When they're new, they're fast. Whee! Drive all over the place, right? But when they get old and they get 100-something thousand miles, they turn into endless money pits, unlike Lexus, which are much better make, or Acuras, which are much better make. Louis Blacker said, Scotty, is Pennzoil Platinum good oil to put in my 2020 Corolla? Sure, it's fine. It's good oil. There's lots of good oils out there. Now, if you're talking about that pure platinum, the one that's made from natural gas, it's an excellent oil. Pennzoil, but Shell bought them out years ago, right? And I always wondered, why the heck are they making oil out of natural gas? It's a wasteful process. It takes about a third of the energy to compress it and turn gas into oil. Well, of course, it's pure oil because pretty pure. It's not like oil in the ground. It's got all kinds of impurities, sulfur and crap in it. So it's a very pure oil. As far as I'm concerned, it's overpriced. That stuff's $10 to $12 a quart. You know, you get Mobil 1 on sale for half that price. Why not? Why not use that? It costs less. It worked good, too. But they got some plants, I guess, in Saudi Arabia. They take the natural gas, turn it into engine oil. The reason they did it was because in Saudi Arabia, the natural gas that comes out is a waste product, and they flare it off. You've seen pictures at night with the flames coming out, right? So they're taking something that's worth nothing because they throw it away. They pollute the world, and they turn it into oil. So here we use the gas products and stuff. There, I guess they know. I guess it's so hot in Saudi Arabia. What the heck do they need heating gas for? It's so hot there anyway. Esther says, Scotty, it's easy to change the radio. The wiring scares me and a plastic break, and I got a 97K 1500. Okay, well, you have very good reasons to doubt it, right? It's a GM product, and it's a 97, so it's old as the hills. And yes, plastic crap may start snapping off in your hands. You're just going to have to be careful. Take the dash and stuff apart. Once you get inside, it's not usually that big of a deal. The wiring harness on a radio just unplugs. They got clips and they unplug. It's not that big of a deal. The problem is taking your dash apart, and a lot of the crap may start to break because it's old GM plastic. And it depends where you live too. If you live in Texas, I guarantee it's going to break. The sun has beaten down, and that plastic's going to be so brittle it's going to snap. Well, you can get aftermarket replacement parts if you want, though. So if you never want to miss another one of my new car repair videos, remember to ring that bell.